This could be us.
So back to what I was saying.
Could be us.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Weapon H All-in-One Podcast. I'm your host, Herman Alston, and I'll be introducing a sometimes co-host,
No,
Ms.
I
Tonya
am
Williams.
always the co-host for this.
You're not going to be on certain topics that we talk about, so I mean, we're going to let you, ride with that
This
today.
is our show, so I'm the co-host.
Oh, so this is a whole nother show, so it's not in Weapon H.
It's not even Weapon H.
All-in-One Podcast. So what's the name of this show?
Tonya and Herm.
That is so whack. So again, welcome y'all back to Weapon H All-in-One Podcast.
We'll
Your
come up
host,
with the
Herman
topic.
Alston and Tonya Williams.
Tonya Williams and Herman Alston.
As y'all can see, we are already going to get off to a beautiful start for this show. One, she's not even looking at the camera, but we're going to go ahead and do that today. Okay, so, and I'm going to
Where's
keep all
the
of
camera?
this. The camera is right there.
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Okay, and stay looking at that the whole time while you're talking. Even if you got, I mean, you can do your little eye roll thing, that's fine.
It wasn't eye roll, it was me looking at you endearingly. So it's Sunday morning. We've had a wonderful morning so far. And we thought about a couple topics we wanted to talk about.
Yes, and we're going to, first we're going to jump off because we were watching Shannon Sharp and Kirk Franklin's interview. And they were talking about
Relationships.
going out on the first date, basically. And their topic and their conversation started because of this viral video that went around with this woman talking about she can't go to Cheesecake Factory, that's beneath her, and even for a first date. And I've seen, and I know she's seen quite a few videos with all kind of different crazy date scenarios. So we're just gonna jump into a little bit of first date topics today. So,
Do you remember our first date?
our very first date, well, we're gonna have to go all the way back because our first date was in college. So we kind of met in college. We went on a date, and then we get through the whole story, and we ended up coming full circle, coming back later in life. But our first date was at a spot called Bennigan's, which is I guess that if you had something to compare it to now, it would be close to like a little bit more of a
Fridays.
upscale. Fridays, exactly. A little bit more.
Upscale?
I wouldn't say upscale, but I mean it was looked at a little better than I guess Friday was back then. So I don't know. But anyway, we went to the spot Bennigan's, and then we.
What did I eat?
We had that. No.
What did I wear?
No.
I remember what you wore. And I remember the car you drove.
Well, we
You
remember
had
the car.
like a shearling or a sheepskin. So that's what people wore in the 80s. Do you remember that?
No, I don't even remember what I had.
You had a white car. I guess that was your
Well,
father's car.
It was my mother's.
Okay.
It was a white Bonneville.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I wore at all. So
Okay.
I know I'm not gonna remember.
Well, fast forward. Now we're in 2023, and we reconnect through Facebook, which is a wonderful, wonderful dating tool. Right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Because I've seen some stuff on Facebook dating that's just way out of control, but good stuff.
You're not looking
Depends
at
on
the
what you're
camera.
into. Depends on what you're into.
Okay.
Depends on what you're into.
All right. Well,
We're gonna have some fun with this one, as you can see.
we reconnected. You reached out to me several times through Messenger. Finally, I took the bite. Right?
I mean, if that's the way you want to, put it out there. But
I mean,
we reached out to each other. We would say hi, hello. It was like we was trying to,
Right,
kick it
he'd
up
throw
like that.
something out there, and he really wasn't taking the initiative. He would just say, "Where you at? What you doing?" Ladies, one of those types.
That's
So
good.
finally, this time, a couple years ago, I said, "All right, I'll." He said, "You should come to North Carolina." You said that several times. So finally, this time, I said, "All right, invite me." It took him a while to still invite me, and he reached back out again. I'm like, "All right, let's set a date." You don't remember all of this, do you? Because you're quiet.
I'm just letting you talk.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then finally I said, what was it, December?
You know everything, girl.
December. December was our first date. Or was it November?
No, I think it was. I think it was It might have been the end of November. I believe. I think it's
Okay.
November.
So the end of November, I finally make my way out to North Carolina, go and see him. And before we got there, I said, well, where am I going to sleep? And you said, well, I got 5 bedrooms. You can sleep in any one of them. I said, okay, that's good. So that was a good thing. Right.
It was.
That made me feel comfortable.
It did.
That I got to sleep in other bedrooms. And I think you were talking about a nice restaurant you wanted to take me to, which was on the water, because we had talked about us, you know, me liking being near the water. So because we talked so much, because it was long distance, which I think helped us, you were able to kind of pinpoint some of the things I liked and invited me out there, and we went to dinner on Lake Norman, right? Which was lovely.
There was a spot that used to be one of the
All right, we
hottest
don't have
spots
to
in
talk
town.
about all that.
It's one of the hottest spots in town. Then they changed it because that area, they wanted to change Lake Norman.
Was that the first person you brought there?
They wanted to change this area in Lake Norman to be more of an upscale type of level.
Just answered my
So
question.
they wanted to change the whole vibe of Lake Norman. So they wanted to be more calming, more upscale. So that was the reason why I said, okay, let me take her there. So, you know, like, as you can see, you know, proof is right in the video. I let her do all her stuff at the minute she want to start asking me questions in the middle, but we'll work on that. And so.
But did you take someone else there?
No, it just
Oh,
opened.
that was nice.
It had
And
just
so I was the
opened.
first one? I don't think I knew that. Do you remember what we ate?
Nope.
I do.
See, you have memory for those type of details.
Well, it's easy to eliminate because both of us don't eat meat.
Well, yeah, that, you know. Well, we do eat fish. I eat fish.
Right, we eat fish. But wasn't there like an asparagus dish or something that you wanted
That was
us
the
to
appetizer, yeah.
Right, which was very good. So I remember that.
But yeah, we had
It
a
was
nice
a
time.
nice date.
Yeah, we had a nice time.
Right.
But to go back, we saw, like I said, the video of the girl talking about it's beneath her to go to Cheesecake Factory. And for me, it was always a thing of, it's the first date. You just feeling out, get it nice and real, and it's really more so about talking. You get to know the other person, get to know a few things, and get to know some likes, some dislikes, things that they like to do, you know. But, you know, it's not all about that first time jumping out and trying to have the most extravagant place. But you're going to have a lot of different opinions on that because some people do think it's that way. But
I think if you're vibing,
okay,
that it doesn't really matter. I think you put in a lot of thought to bring me someplace because you listened to me. We talked a lot, and you knew that I liked being near the water. So you said, "Oh, you know, I got a great place," and I remember the excitement of you talking about it. In defense of this woman, there's really no excitement in Cheesecake Factory. There's no thought put into that.
it all
So
depends.
really, women want you to put effort into something, and that's what I saw.
It really all depends because we talked. We could have went to the Cheesecake Factory. And I highly doubt if it would have been the same.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that that's easy, and women want to be felt. You know, they want to be heard.
It's the conversation for me. It's conversation.
Right, but how do you get there?
Because we conversated beforehand. And so I would think you would conversate beforehand. If you just, I guess, basically randomly meeting some woman on a dating website or something like that, no, I'm not going to no crazy
But
place on
Cheesecake Factory is expensive.
I guess,
It can be
but
pricey.
it's still in the mids. So you got the mids. I mean, that's one of the mid-range. You want to go to a mid-range place when it's somebody you don't know. If it's somebody you speak and you get to
Well,
know
if it's someone
somebody,
you don't know, you can go to a coffee shop.
that's
You can go to a
even
coffee
better.
shop.
That's
Yeah,
even
that's
better. But
even
if you want to
better.
go somewhere to eat, you will go mid-range for me.
I like Cheesecake Factory, but
So do I.
I think putting in the effort, there's really no effort, and that's what women want.
How is that not putting in effort if you guys are talking and then end up you got some of the things that
Well,
she likes,
they
some
put
things
in
he
the
likes, and you
effort,
have
then
to-
she
oh my
wouldn't have
God.
known. He would have known not to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. Why was she so worked up about the Cheesecake Factory?
That's my point.
Right.
They didn't speak. That's why I said communication is everything.
Do you think we communicate well?
I think so.
I think think so too.
Yeah, actually, I don't think so. I know so.
Yes.
So, but that's my point of the whole thing. It's all about communication. It's not. But then, if you don't know her, he doesn't know you, and he just say, okay, we're gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory, and y'all don't know nothing about each other. Why would you not? You don't know who that person is. He could be somebody who has a lot. He may not be that person. Or this might be a lot for him to go to the Cheesecake Factory. He's showing you effort by
But
taking you
if
to the
they
Cheesecake
actually
Factory.
communicated, he would have known that she does not like the Cheesecake Factory.
But it goes all the way back to what I said. They didn't communicate.
Right, so they didn't
But
communicate.
okay, so they didn't. In that situation, maybe they possibly couldn't. They didn't communicate because they didn't know each other yet. They just randomly like, okay, let's meet here, have a eat. I'd like to eat and talk. You just picked a place. It should have been like, okay, even if you didn't like it that much, okay, you go, you meet, then you don't have to see each other again. But you talk to the person and find out. You get to sit there and talk to the person, not just, oh, I'm not getting out the car.
So
I'm not going to go into some high-end restaurant. I don't know you. I get up there and have the worst time ever and spend all my money.
So Kurt Franklin said to Shannon Sharp, just ask her where would she like to go. And Shannon Sharp was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You wouldn't have asked me?
Did I?
No, because
Okay.
we already talked. I think us living long distance really helped. We were able to really, really talk.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Because I have to say, not a dig at any of my other relationships, but this is the most I've ever talked or communicated well with anyone.
Okay.
I don't know what the difference is, and I want to say it's long distance.
I would say that might
Because
have
we
played.
still are long distance. I'm in New Jersey, he's still in North Carolina.
I would say that played a part in it, but I wouldn't say that was the, you can be long distance, still don't talk, and still don't get along that much. Even if you force, you might talk 10, 15 minutes. Like I ain't gonna talk to her to another couple of days, or tomorrow, whatever the case may be. Where sometimes we may talk a couple times during the day. So it's not.
Well, you're
I
the
don't
first
think it's-
person I call when I have something exciting to share.
Right.
Aside from my sister, I usually call you. Or to run something by.
Yeah, because that's where we are.
Because you
now.
do listen.
Oh yeah, that I will. And I listen to listen, people. Listen to listen, not listen to respond.
Right. You do
There's
listen.
There's a difference.
Yes.
Because a lot of people listen so they can get something to fire back at.
You're
I'm
absolutely
not,
right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
That's a waste of energy. It's negative. To me, it's negative energy and not just.
You're very thoughtful in your responses, and I remember when we first began speaking, you said, your sign is a Cancer. I'm a Leo, extremely fiery. Never dated any Cancer men because you're so laid back. And you said, I don't argue. And I'm like, you don't argue? How do you talk if you don't argue? Remember?
Yeah.
And I said, well, this isn't gonna work out because he is like this. He doesn't yell, and I'm like, we need a good yelling match to get things going. And a couple years later, I'm like, oh, you really don't have to communicate that way.
No.
So I appreciate you, dear.
Yes, thank you. But that's the thing there where because to me, when you're yelling, no one is getting their point across. It's just a bunch of screaming, and I'm gonna get my point across whether the other person actually understands it or hears it or not. Because if you're yelling, that's automatically, typically, automatically has the person turn to the other side. Like, I'm responding back to this, so I'm just gonna ignore it all the way. And I'm more on the side of when you're yelling, I'm gonna ignore it, and then I'll
So I
tell
don't
you.
yell.
So when it's like you want me to get your point or understand your point, how about just talking?
What's a trigger word that really gets me upset? What do you say?
Relax.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
And I think it's the tone of the word relax. Yeah, it's not so much just saying relax. It's the tone, like relax. It's sarcastic, and I do have a lot of sarcastic ways in me.
Yeah, but I don't even take you as being sarcastic, so that's a good thing because I don't think I would really want someone sarcastic.
Yes.
But you're funny, sarcastic, not sarcastic mean. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's sarcastic, funny, sarcastic Jack. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's a few of them that I saw that this was some wild incidences where I saw this was kind of, I mean, I don't know if it was real or not, but it was kind of funny. This guy, first date, took this girl out, and she's ordering stuff with about 2 or 3 kids back home at the bar. You gonna pay for it. She like, you gonna make him pay for it. You like, pay for your kids. I don't know you like that. Like one, for me, when you first meeting someone, and nowadays almost everyone is gonna have kids, but you want to, you don't introduce strangers to everybody you meet to your kids. That's just, it is what it is. So
Right.
for you to come up here and you out on a little first date and you already talk about some pay, I'm bringing stuff home for all 3, 4 of my kids.
So
I
what
thought it
happens
was
if
hilarious.
she said 50-50? A first date, should it be 50-50?
He could pay for her. No, I think he should pay for his and her meal, not taking the doggy bag home for 4 of the damn kids. That's just I don't.
Well, I
that's
don't think
insane.
that was kind of her to do. I felt like she was taking advantage, so
She
that's
was
not very nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
But-
But do you?
But
do you
at some
believe
point,
in going?
but I believe now, man. Now y'all, you in a relationship, y'all been together for a little while. Yeah, you can spend. Oh yeah, spend some money. Yeah, just make sure the kids got something to eat. Blah blah blah. But you don't know the person. No, you don't even know. You haven't met these kids. It's not something you even wanted somebody to meet your kid that you met on first date. So yeah, it just was a weird situation for me.
Yeah, I felt like she was taking advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't no ifs, ands, buts about that. I'm glad you were good with that one, because I might have to look at you sideways. I was like, do I really know this woman or not?
Whatever. So, didn't Shannon Sharp and Kirk Franklin say something about going 50-50 also?
Yes, they did. But they were, I think he would talk about 50-50 throughout the whole relationship, not just first date.
Right.
For me, as far as just like the whole relationship, I never really was into the whole breaking things down to like a number, like I did this. You just, all right, I'm paying today, and sometimes she may pay. I don't have a problem with her paying stuff sometimes, but it's not it's not no thing where I'm gonna make you got to do 50-50. I mean, it depends. It just kind of depends. I just don't like the it's not like a strict code of it. It's like it's fluid. It can kind
So
of just move.
we're in this a couple years now, year and a half, whatever you want to say. But what happens if at what point am because I pull out my wallet and sometimes you say, no, I got it. I'm like, no, I got it. At what point have you, like, you're pulling out the wallet and you're going to look at me and be like, oh, she going to pull out her wallet? Like, at what point would you say that?
I don't think I would.
So we could be like, so at this point I don't have to pull out my wallet again?
I ain't say that, but I'm just saying I don't think I'd be like sitting up there just harping about it.
But do you understand my point?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, for sure.
Because I do, we're in a relationship and I pay, for breakfast or lunch, or you pay for dinner, or you pay for breakfast, or I'll get this. So I feel like it meshes and it works out well it's unspoken with us.
Right.
But what happens, we are dating 4, 5, 6 months and I have not pulled out my wallet yet.
Not
What are you
one
thinking?
time.
Are you going to say to me, okay, or you just not going to pull out your wallet and see what happens? We're going to be at a standstill.
I don't know. I don't even think it. I don't know. I just don't get to that point because at 5 or 6 years, I would think we would know each other.
I said 4 or 5 months.
Oh, months. Oh, whatever. Like 4 or 5 more months, I would think we would know each other enough that I'd be like, okay, if she don't want to do that, then okay. I'm sure we'll have a discussion about it, but I won't be sitting up there talking about something. When is she going to know?
Oh, wow. See, you are a lot different. Well, you're different than I feel like most men. I think at some point a man would have been like, okay, when are you going to pay? Because that has happened to me.
Oh.
You live and you learn, right?
Yeah, you live and you learn, but it is what it is. Yeah, but the thing also is, it's just, to me, it just knowing who you are, that would be like a bit of a drastic change from who you are, to me, so I never even gave it a thought. I just, it is what it is. If she's not, then that means she ain't have it, or whatever the case may be.
Oh,
good.
that's sweet.
Look at it like that.
Okay.
Just get all that personal.
Well, I think we kind of hammered out everything as far as first dates.
Yeah, and making up bunch of stories, so we're good on that one. But glad, thank you guys for joining in. Oh, it's going to be a lot more to come, as you can see. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit those subscribe buttons, hit those like buttons. Definitely for the subscribe button, so you'll know when a new episode is dropped. It'll alert you out, and make sure you hit those those alert buttons that make sure you know about every episode. So thanks again for joining in.
Thank you for visiting the Tonya and Herm show.
Weapon H, all in one podcast.
This could be us.
So back to what I was saying.
Could be us.